Good day, children. Till now, what we have studied, you know, you all know. Uh, Although revision session was going on, so metals and non-metals, not much started in the class. But very quickly, I am going to start this metals and non-metals. Okay. Now, I told you in videos. I have told you what I told you, that metals and non-metals, uh, where are they found? Metals of all these things, mostly you find them everywhere in nature. I told you one thing, the metals you get from the earth. I told you one thing, that total elements, how much they are? 118. And amongst 118 elements, 94 are the naturally occurring, and the rest have been made by the human being. So how much uh, research and something new has been developed by a human being, or have been developed by human beings, you can say. Now, physical properties I told you, and these physical properties, they are so simple that you have studied them in, I think, 7th standard, 8th standard, and now these are back with you in 10th standard. And all these things are so simple that you in day-to-day life you observe them. You are using them at your home. Understand? So, I told you that is matters, lustrous, that is sonorous. I told you the meaning of every word, and having high density, weight, high melting point, high boiling point, and a very good conductor of heat and electricity. All these points were connected to metals. And I told you one thing, that whatever properties are present in metals, non-metals depict the opposite properties. That is, they are altogether different. That is, they are just opposite. As metals are hard, that is, non-metals are very soft. That is, metals are not brittle, but non-metals are brittle. You can powder the non-metals, but you cannot powder easily the metals. As if you can hammer a coke and you will find the fine pieces of coke. But hammering an iron and making its pieces is not that easy task, and you will not get that type of fine powder as you will get from the coke. Understand? Now, yesterday video, after telling you the physical properties of metals and non-metals, I told you certain anomalous behaviors, and I mentioned in that also, that is anomalous behavior. Generally they are asked in the competition exams. So, and I told you, but your chapters have been reduced, so you must focus on these things also, that such things can come in your board exam also. I told you the anomalous behavior, like metals are shining, non-metals are non-shining. But iodine, being a non-metal, as it is a non-metal, but it is very shining. So it's a different behavior. Iodine shows other properties of non-metal, but this property resembles the metal. So this is a non-metal. In the same way I told you, that is bromine. Bromine is what? It is a liquid. Otherwise, non-metals are either solid or gases. So there I told you. I don't want to repeat. You can watch that video, the previous video. Okay. So today what I am going to tell you, the chemical properties of metals, and I am just beginning it. So it will take first day. I will not complete whole chemical properties. I am just starting. Starting, that is chemical property, that is reaction with oxygen or burning in oxygen. All the metals, most of the metals, they react with oxygen. Even copper is a very less reactive in comparison to sodium, potassium, magnesium. Copper is a very less reactive metal, but copper also reacts with oxygen. Now, first here I have written that is metal and reaction with oxygen forming metal oxide. It gives you a clear picture that metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide. Now you see here, that is I have taken first magnesium. Burning with oxygen, you can see two molecule of magnesium, one molecule of oxygen means having two atoms of oxygen will form 2MgO, magnesium oxide. And I have taken this reaction that previously, previous chapter I gave you an example. I think yes, or I think I ninth standard. That when a magnesium wire is being burnt, when you burn a magnesium wire, then it burns with a dazzling white flame. It's a very shining white flame comes, as if you see the dazzling white light. Why? When you burn crackers on festivals like Diwali. Understand? So, now you see that we are getting magnesium oxide. There iron, you can see that iron is reacting with oxygen to form iron oxide. This also you have seen rust. What is rusting? Iron reaction of iron in presence of oxygen and water vapor. So Fe2O3 is the rust, reddish brown in color, along with some water molecules are also attached. I will tell you. But I have just given you the indication that what is in the rust, the basic compound, Fe2O3. This is the rust. Fe3O4 also is formed. Other way also the reaction goes on. At present we are focusing on this. Now you see copper. Copper will react with oxygen on heating and it is also forming copper oxide. Aluminium reacts with oxygen to form 2Al2O3 aluminum. It is called as alumina Al2O3 oxide. In nature also you find the aluminium in the form of alumina. Its ore is called as bauxite. I just told you bauxite from which aluminium is extracted. So you can see here that aluminium reacting with oxygen to form alumina. Sodium reacts with oxygen to form sodium oxide. This reaction is so vigorous that it catches fire. So because of that, sodium, potassium, they are always capped in kerosene. Now why they are capped in kerosene? So you can understand, kerosene is a organic product. Kerosene is not an ionic product. It has covalent bonding. It is organic in nature. So when you keep all these things, sodium and potassium like metal, these are highly reactive metals. Sodium, potassium, actually they are okay. You are no need to tell you about that. If you see the periodic table, the last chapter, first group, they are the sodium, potassium. You just keep this thing in mind that sodium and potassium, they are highly reactive. Now you see that, now you see what happens. Yes. Now you see what happens. This sodium, potassium, you got the point that why they are capped in kerosene, because they are highly reactive. As when they are taken out in the air, they will catch fire and they will burn explosively. So that reaction is explosive. Now you see, students, till now I have told you. Now if you keep these oxides, and if you means some of these oxides, they react with water to form hydroxide. So I have shown you here. If you are not, because if you keep the sodium directly, if you keep in air, it will explode. But if you are taking out the sodium from the kerosene and you dip this in water, you totally dip this in water, and you will find that oxide form. Sodium oxide will form. Sodium oxide will form like this, and hydrogen will release in the water. First, hydrogen will be sodium oxide will react with water and it will form So that whatever hydrogen is released, it will react with the oxide and it will form sodium hydroxide. Understand again. Sodium metal, when we are dipping this in water, reaction will take place, sodium oxide will form and hydrogen gas will be released. But instantaneously, that hydrogen gas, as it is in water, it will react with the sodium and it will form sodium hydroxide. And even the temperature of the solution also will rise because so much of heat is released. Clearly understand, I think. In the same way you can say, see that potassium oxide will also react with water to form potassium hydroxide. Now, so you till now you have understand two things. That is, up to this point I have told you about the reaction with oxygen. Here, from here you are observing these oxides are reacting with water to form hydroxide. You can see, what is this? This is sodium hydroxide. I can write here that it is sodium hydroxide. Now, in the same way, that is, you can see that yes, so you can see that 2Mg plus 2H2, that is 2Mg2 molecule of magnesium reacting with steam. Here I shall write that it is steam, we are using steam, and it is forming, what it is forming, F oxide plus H2. So different cases, like even the potassium can also make oxide and hydrogen gas. How I shall write here, you can see here, like I am taking potassium and plus water. It will react vigorously. So what it will form, and oxygen having the valency 2. So it should be, I should take like this. So it will be K2O and plus H2 gas. There it is. So you can see that is, we are getting here sodium hydroxide form, it gets dissolved in water. Potassium oxide can also react with water the same way. But if we are taking different condition, here we are taking the steam. So magnesium is reacting here to form magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas being liberated. Now I would like to take one important thing like alumina. Like Al2O3 is formed. You have seen that Al2O3 is formed. Now Al2O3 I would like to share with you that all the metals form basic oxides. What type of oxides? Basic oxide. What means basic oxide? That they react with acids, not with bases. As they form basic oxide. But alumina which is formed, it is basic as well as acidic. So what type of character is called like this? This type of character is called as amphoteric. That is Al2O3. It shows, what type of character it shows? Acidic plus basic. Both the character. Now you will say that how this Al2O3 shows two types of character. So I will tell you that Al2O3, quickly, if it reacts with acid, I should stand up here, if it reacts with acid, then it is showing the basic behavior, and if it reacts with base, then it is showing the acidic behavior. I think you have got what I have told you. Now I should write that what is acid? Let me check. That is Al2O3. We are reacting with HCl. Now what will be formed? You see, it forms AlCl3 as aluminum valency 3 plus 3. So what will it form? It will form AlCl3. So I shall write 3. AlCl3, and what else is formed? 3HCl, Al2O3. No, it will not work. We will have to, because aluminum here it is 2 and here it is 1. So I shall put here something else. Here aluminum 2, here I shall write it here like this. 2AlCl3. So it is making 6. So I shall write here 6, and you can see Now what is left? 3 oxygen and 6 hydrogen. So definitely plus we can write 3H2O. So now you can see that the reaction has done, and what has been formed, that is water, and IlCl3, what is it? Is a salt. So you can see that this type of reaction has been done when it is reacting with the acid. Now the another reaction which will prove, this was the reaction which was proving its basic behavior. Here it was basic. You can see this behavior was basic one. Now you can see acidic behavior. Now for acidic behavior, what you will do, that Al2O3, if you are reacting it with a base. So I can take, what is the base? NaOH. It is a base. You can see base, what are having metal oxides, hydroxides, these are base. NaOH is a perfect base. Okay. Now when it is reacting with NaOH, you know what is formed? It forms, I am writing here, reaction NaAlO2, and balance it. How it will be balanced? So it will be formed, we should write how much we should take. 2, because aluminium 1, so aluminium here it is 2, so we should write 2 NaAlO2, it is sodium meta-aluminate, and to balance it we will write 2 NaOH, and I think it would be balanced, and plus water is also formed. I think you might have got the answer. Let me see, check it whether it is balanced or not. 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen, and here we are having oxygen 3 oxygen we are having, yes, and 3 oxygen and 2 oxygen here. Okay, so yes, it is balanced now. Now you can understand that amphoteric means what? Alumina, it shows the what type of behavior, I should write it here also, that it shows the amphoteric. I wrote somewhere that it shows amphoteric behavior. This behavior is amphoteric. I should write here like this, amphoteric. Okay, I think you got it, that it is showing the amphoteric behavior, alumina only. Otherwise, you find all the metals, most of the metals, they are basic in nature because they react with acids. They react with acids to form salt and water. But so they all show amphoteric behavior. Now here I will show you an example, and after that I will end this video. Here it is a glass bowl soaked in water. This glass bowl, when we are applying heat here, we are heating with this with a flame. It is a metal sample. You can see this is a metal sample. Sample means it is a metal, and all the metals they react with. Now when you are heating, so what will happen? From this glass bowl, water will evaporate. It will be coming like this. This water will be coming like this, and this water will react with the metal. And water, what will happen when metal react with the water? As I told you, you can see here, metal reacting with the steam, as I have taken here. So what you will see, that magnesium oxide is formed plus water. Magnesium oxide means some oxide would be formed here, but hydrogen gas, as it is gas, it will go here. This is a delivery tube. It will go via a delivery tube, and you can see this is water we have already taken, and water, this stuff is full of water. This stuff is full of water. So our delivery tube is inside the water. Now you will see that I have shown the hydrogen gas bubbles by making black bubbles. I have made the bubbles with black color. You will see that these bubbles, they are going up, and the gas will collect over here. So I think this much you have understood, that how metals react with oxygen and how metals react with water, and what type of oxide they form. This, and in addition other things I will tell you later on. So thank you children. Keep studying, enjoy everything, take care of yourself.